Every man's past tells his story. I'm a product of my environment, and I'm not ashamed of where I come from. As a matter of fact, where I come from is what makes me the man that I am today. I was born and raised in Muskogee, Oklahoma. It's not really a huge city, but it's my city and it's home. I've traveled all over the country, been many places, seen a lot of things, but there's no place like home. I was raised by a single mother, and she taught us the value of hard work. We had everything we needed. We had each other, we had a roof over our head, and we had a strong belief in God, a strong foundation. Growing up in the city of Muskogee taught me a lot of different things. One of the main things it taught me is how to take nothing and make it into something. If you really want to be successful, you will do everything in your power to make it happen.
Everybody in this room has the ability to leave an impression, whether you're in school, whether you're in your neighborhood, even in settings like this. You're going to leave an impression, but it's up to you whether it's a good impression or a bad impression.
I'm grateful for the path that God has taken me, and I'm looking forward to my tomorrows.
You can find me on the block, posted up like a stop sign, chilling with the goons in the streets on the front lines.
I'm in the hood, homie. It's all good, homie. I'm born again, but I do it for my hood.
Hey, call me the street sweep.
Everybody has to have motivation. Every man has to be motivated by something. For me, my family is my motivation. My family is everything that I got. Without them, I'm absolutely nothing. A wise man once said, if you don't know where you're going, any road can take you there. I remember as a child growing up, I knew that I always wanted to be somebody. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to be, but I know I wanted to make an impact on my world. By the grace of God, I've been fortunate enough to be in a position where I can make a difference in the lives of young people in my hometown. Oftentimes when I come back home, I stop by my old elementary school where I was molded as a young boy, and I give back to the young people.
The biggest room in the world is room for improvement. Where you guys are right now, it's not too late to make improvement. I want to challenge you all to be better today than you were yesterday and before that. I am the best me in the whole wide world. Much better. Give yourselves a round of applause.
There's no greater feeling than knowing you're making a difference in the life of a young person. That's encouraging to me. That's inspiring to me.
Because I never forget where I came from. I'll never forget where I came from. I know what it's like to have nothing, to come from nothing and to have something. I'm blessed because I remember what it's like to have nothing. And when I got something, I still live like I had nothing because I gave, I was a giver. I believe in helping everybody else. That's real talk. That's real talk.
One of the hardest things for me to ever overcome was dealing with the loss of my mother back in June of 2004. That was probably one of the worst times of my life ever. I've never experienced such heartache, such pain, such emptiness, such brokenness when I lost my mother. It was absolutely the worst time of my life. My mother was 49 years old. Not even a year later, my father, who I love dearly, was diagnosed with colon cancer, soon passed away. Not even a year later. Had it not been for God's grace and God's mercy and for Him carrying me through that trying process, I really don't believe I would be here today. Absolutely, I had thoughts of suicide. I had thoughts of throwing in the towel. I had thoughts of just giving up. But for some reason, God held on to me during that time, and He allowed me to make it through it. I can't give you a false impression that the pain wasn't hurtful, because the pain was so real. Even to this day, I sometimes find myself crying a tear because I miss my mother and I miss my father. But God has allowed me to understand how precious life really is, and He's given me a chance to reach out to others and to console others who have experienced similar situations. A wise man once said that he who suffers much knows much. I'm motivated by heartache and hard times. All the things that I've endured, all the things that I've overcome, all the things that God brought me through. That's what motivates me to do the type of music that I do. I spend a majority of my time in the studio, just coming up with creative ideas on concepts, on music, or just get in the studio just to meditate, just to clear my mind. Oftentimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and come down in the studio and I'll just get into this zone, a creative zone, and I just begin to write and I begin to record and I just express myself through music. You will never hear music from me that glorifies material things. You never hear music from me that disrespects women. You'll never hear music from me that talks about all the material things in life. The music that I create is real life music. It's music that I've lived, that I've gone through. I remember years ago, my pastor told me, you can't teach what you don't know, and you can't lead where you don't go. I truly believe that. I'll never forget where I came from. Never forget where I came from. Often I sit back and I wonder, what will my legacy be? What will this earth remember me by? I know they won't remember me by the car that I drove or the type of house that I lived in. I want to be known as a person who gave everything that he had and believed in himself and believed in the power of God and believed that through Christ I can do anything, absolutely anything. I want to be known as someone who gave back, who made a difference, who made an impact on my generation. And if I have not done that, then my life was in vain. My name is Lonnie Barker, and I am Hop Hop.